That was excellent out there. That was excellent. Steps to
Wow, girl.
Yo, what's going on, fellas? What's going on? How's y'all's Monday? First Monday of the new year. How's it going? How's it going? Hold on, let me go get this shit. Not much, Chabo. How you been, bro? How you been? How's the community that you're growing? How's that going, bro? How's everything for you? Uh, no, yeah, we chilling. We chilling. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. And then I'm just gonna just get it started. Gonna get it started. Let some more people fuck, can I speak? Let some more people trickle in. But what's everybody in here working on today? What's everyone in here working on? The fuck. But yeah, I think that's good, bro. That's good. How's the growth going, bro? It's been a minute since we last talked. Is everything straight? Um, yeah, I hope you guys, printing had a good rest of the year from the last time that we met and shit. Um, but yeah, we can kind of just jump into it. So pretty much what I'm gonna go over is pretty much how like we turn traction on the Instagram pages into monetization. And this is pretty much like the exact same playbook that I'm using. Yeah, definitely, bro. I definitely feel that myself. I'm gonna show you like exactly what we're using on an offer that I'm running. I'm about to launch on like January 15th. Right. And for a little bit of context with this offer, we have 31K on Instagram and 88K on Twitter. We're looking to parlay like the audience that we built within the niche to the creator who's currently in the G League on like a two-way contract, played on Team USA whenever it came to like the 3-on-3 tournaments. And so we have like a prime offer in the basketball niche, which is pretty much the niche that we're working on for this. Um, so yeah, by the end of today, you'll have like a clear path to monetization, or know exactly why we don't yet, right? So we're gonna have a single, like clear message that kind of explain what it is exactly that you guys do, whether you guys are running a personal brand, whether you guys are running a faceless page, right? We're gonna have one core problem that your audience already wants solved, right? And then at the end of the Q&A, you guys can kind of tell me like, I'm in this niche, and to kind of sit there and problem solve that, right? What path to choose, whether you kind of affiliate, you create your own digital product, or you sell a high ticket service. And then like the first draft and like how your content will lead to money. So let's kind of just jump right into it. Right. So a lot of people fall into the trap that like, hey, if I get more followers on social media, right, then I'll be able to monetize. And that's not necessarily the case, right? Because at the end of the day, the people who fall into this, they chase followers, content, make sure that the editing's on point, right? But the people who generate the most amount of money are usually people who kind of just get on social media and have like talking head, and they feel very relatable. And whenever they're speaking to you, they're solving like one core problem and feel like you're on FaceTime with them, right? And so oftentimes I'll see that people find themselves stuck whenever it comes to their page because they're creating attention, not enough direction. And what that means is that you're getting all these views, you have all these people going to your page, and you have nowhere to clearly extract money from them, right? And so what's missing is that people don't clearly understand why people are watching, why people are watching and why people aren't acting, why people are engaged and not moving down the funnel. And that's really because there's no clear next step whenever it's tied to your page, right? So if you're a gambling page, it doesn't make sense to kind of sell an offer on like how to grow meme pages because that's not a desire or a need that people have. But when you see this works, is because it's shouting out the main page, and the main page is both a meme page and someone's personal page, showing people proof of concept, right? And so right. This is the reason why most traffic doesn't work, right? It's because they don't have clear next steps, right? Most of the times, these pages don't have a specific outcome, right? Even if you're in the faces page in like the casino affiliate marketing niche, you still need to have a perfect outcome, right? When people come to this page, right, they're gonna get both gambling memes and like a few months where I'm giving out picks, and picks are derived from this one platform that they can kind of go in and register for, right? They don't have a specific offer direction, right? People want to buy one specific offer, they want to be pointed and rerouted to multiple offers. And there's not the one clear CTA that your audience sees every single familiarity with, right? And why people buy is because hey, you show up consistently in the algorithm, right? It's repetitiveness, right? And I feel familiar to this guy, right? When you have multiple CTAs, you kind of kill that familiarity aspect of it, right? And so with Train Solo, what I noticed is right, me and Locker owner, was that a lot of these players, right, basketball players, since we're in their niche, they already have all the motivation in the world. They already know that the opportunity to make millions of dollars is out there if they have the skill set to do it. They already have all the right workouts saved. They already have all the highlights they watch and fucking hustle porn over. Right. But what they lack is structure, progression, and a daily plan. And so how we monetize is that we provide you guys with structure, how you're going to progress through your basketball journey and accountability. right? So we're not just posting like basketball content. And that's like the main difference between views and a business is that you understand that like, hey, if we want to utilize Instagram, that this is just a distribution layer instead of like the main focal point of our business. This is how we distribute, and it's like our final touch and conversion point. Right. Yesterday, I was on a call with a prospect. I think I'm going to actually close him like Friday or Thursday this week. And we were talking about like personal brands. And he was like, oh, how come you don't have like a personal brand? How come all the content that you post doesn't get reflected back onto your Instagram? And I said, because Instagram is my final conversion layer. Right. And what I have to sell is not what what the mass wants. Right. So I might as well go get people who are more likely to give me money from the way I think, right? My thought process behind it, either because they watch me on stream, right? Or they've seen me on TikTok or they've seen me on Twitter, right? And they want to give me money because of that. Not the people who kind of fall down and trickle down on Instagram, right? But I said whenever I do post on my first piece of content, it's going to be different than content I'm recommending, right? Because you're in the AI niche, right? And you can reach any and everybody. I can't. My TAM isn't as big, so it's not in my benefit to post on my Instagram, right? And so when it comes to monetizing, it's a simple formula, right? It's traffic, problem, promise, proof, and path, right? And so this is why most people just stop at like you guys aren't monetizing. You guys just want to get shit on traffic, but you guys don't want to put the traffic to, right? So the traffic is just the views and attention that you curate, right? The problem is like what you're stuck on, what they can't fix, right? And the promise that you're going to make them is like, hey, the outcome I can help you guys get, and the proof is like, look at everything I've done this for, right? And the next step is just like the offer CTA. And so today we're going to go over like the problem, the promise, and the path, right? That's kind of like the most important thing, right? And so at first you want to define your audience, right? So you guys take a couple seconds, right, and kind of think about like I hope whoever you guys are helping with on these pages or whatever the theme of your page is. If you're a casino, right, I hope degenerates become X, Y, and Z, right? I hope degenerates who struggle with consistently winning parlays achieve a X, Y, and Z outcome using this unique selling position. Um, I'm a paid traffic broker. Um, I'm a paid traffic broker for an hour-long consultation sometime this week, and then on that consultation, we'll see whenever he gets on stream. If I do have help with offered, I think in print via email, and since that's primarily what he does, that's whenever I'm gonna have it after I kind of get my value out of it and kind of see what he wants to share from the public, right? And so it's just like your niche isn't gonna turn into a buyer, right? So a bad niche, right, is the fitness niche in the business is basketball, right? You have to target a very specific person with a very specific struggle, right? So if you're gonna go create a niche and to make money online niche, you're targeting people who are struggling in order to make their first $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month online, right? And you're gonna post content around helping that. So whenever it is time to monetize, you know what I mean? You don't have to go all your content doesn't have to be that, but you still need to have content that's like, okay, we help X, Y, and Z solve A, B, C doing CBD. You know what I mean? And so usually to answer these, right, you have to figure out who watches you, right? What level are they in when they're watching you, and what context are they in, right? Are they in high school? Are they in a job? Are they in college? You know what I mean? What's the context that they're in, right? And so, for example, for us, right, that we use is kind of like high school guards trying to make varsity, right? They could use train solo, right? Content creators who are stuck at 50 to 55 to 50K followers, right? New affiliates who get views with no clicks, right? Those are like the pages that you've seen run, right? And so, for example, train solo helps serious basketball players who are inconsistent and don't know what to do and don't know what to do daily, build an automatic training routine that improves their game, right? And so you notice that we filter out by saying that you have to be serious, right? We've ran in Instagram stories, multiple Instagram stories. Most people are struggling with their inconsistency, right? And whether it comes to their shooting, their ball handling, their training, right? They're all inconsistent. They don't have a daily plan, which is like the mechanism, right? And we want them to improve their game, which is the outcome. Right, and the core problem, that's where I see a lot of people fuck up, right? You don't want to go solve five problems at one, right? TJR, for example, he solves the problem of being an unprofitable day trader. Brett Skiller solves the problem of being an unexperienced media buyer, right? Even solves the problem of being like an unexperienced agency owner or honestly make money online as an MMA guy, right? All these people in the high level info space, Mason Cardinal taught how to be an unprofitable copywriter and how to leverage AI to become profitable. Jimmy Farley, he handles the problem of like being like not knowing what the fuck you're doing with TikTok Shop, right? And so you see how all these guys are fixing one fucking problem. You know what I mean? And as you go through the problem, they have upsells and downsells and cross sells as you develop and have even more problems, right? And so you have to pick one out of the next seven problems, even if it's not perfect, right? And kind of say, okay, cool, how am I going to solve for this one, right? I don't know what to do next. I can't stay consistent. I can't get results. I'm overwhelmed, or I don't have a system to solve a problem. You know what I mean? And well, for Trend Solo, we chose like if you're unstructured and you have inconsistency, here's the problem that we have for you, and we have a back end that's going to kind of help people like kind of solve the sort of problems that they're facing, right? And so, how do you go find your core problem? Even if you're running a thing page, you just want to be top comments, right? So, let's say, like, for example, a gambling niche. It's like, oh, what casino are you using to get this win? Or, oh, X, Y, and Z. I hate when I get cheated whenever it comes to parlays. Why can't this happen? Right. And then it's like, what's the most common DM? A lot of people asking me DMs for like the most like trading strategies. If you're in a trading niche, or they asking for casinos if you're in the casino affiliate niche. Are they asking for like the template whenever it comes to budgeting? Are they asking for DM scripts? Are they asking for this? Like, what's the most common DM that you're getting in your page, right? And then what does your audience say the most? Is it how-to videos? Is it meme regarding this very specific topic, right? Um, yeah, the vlogs will be uploaded and it's going to be shared in Discord as well too, right? And so it's like, what does your audience say, right? And then it's like, okay, what do they share, right? Are you getting a lot of shares on a specific meme that here's like the online issue? And it's like, okay, cool, make a resource and sell that resource for $27 a fucking day, right? Because this is your most safe thing. All right, cool, right? And the rule of thumb that I like to go by is if people already ask you about it, you can monetize it, right? And the main thing is that you want to have a problem like ladder, which is like here's like the surface level like objection that you're gonna get, but here's what they're really objecting. Right? And from what I've seen by talking to countless of content creators, whenever they say they can't grow, is that they don't have a repeatable content system that they can kind of go and drain. Whenever people say that they need a workout, right, in the fitness niche, right, it's because no, they need a plan that they can follow when they're not fully motivated. You know what I mean? That's what they mean when they don't have a workout, because they have zero motivation that they do go work out. And then just seems super slow. We could talk about consistency in his workout plan. Yeah, oh God, I need a workout today. And I need sales, right? What's really happening is I don't have an offer plus CTA that fits my content. Right. So for you guys in your thing, right, what's a common thing that you guys get in the DMs, right? And then what do you think that the real problem is? And like by doing this exercise, you're gonna be able to kind of sit there, go through your DMs, go through your comments, like look to see what's being saved, what's being shared, right? And figure out, okay, cool, here's exactly what's going on with these people, and here's exactly how I'm gonna go in and how I'm gonna save it. You know what I mean? Step three is kind of choosing your monetization path, right? And here's kind of like the decision framework I do with every kind of theme page or personal brand that I have, right? Is an affiliate, right? You just have traffic but no offer, but you know you can sell a proven solution, right? And you want cash flow fast. You can go throw an affiliate link in your bio, create your own sales funnel, throw a WAP checkout link and one of the buttons, and then boom, you're automatically you can go get 2 to 3 sales the next day. And if you have your audience engaged and trained enough, you can go get 10 to 15 sales the next day, collect $200 in commission every single day just from your store, right? Or you want to go solo a low ticket product, right? Do you kind of have the same advice repeatable? uh, if you're a trader, every day I get asked what are the best platforms. Every day I get asked how does consistency work for this thing. Okay, cool. Let me just go create a low ticket sim product, low ticket product for $27 that talks about, hey, here are the best platforms, here are the payouts, here's all the information that you're gonna ever fucking ask me when it comes to platforms. Here it is right here, package for $27. You go through it, it's gonna answer all your fucking beginner questions. And then on the backside of it, you're gonna have upsells, OTO1s, order bumps. You're gonna have a green consistency, have them go to your high ticket product, right? But this is whenever you could package something to a simple system, but you want ownership without like high time demand. It's just like, hey, it's $27. We have this back end system that works in the background for me, right? Or you could sell like a high ticket service or mentorship if you could get people results by working with them hands on, right? And you already get, can you help me DMs, right? And you can handle calls plus delivery, right? And so you have to pick between these three. Look at your, and if you're faceless, you're picking between one and two, right? But if you have a personal brand, you can pick through one, two, and three. Some people like doing affiliate with a personal brand because they don't want to fucking fulfill on shit, right? I'd rather refer you to this fucking coaching program. I know that has great fucking results, so I don't have to sit here and answer to you guys, right? That would be an example of how I use my personal brand, right? Just partner up with someone in my industry, know that like, hey, I'll go through your program, give me access for free. We're gonna run it through affiliate. We're gonna kind of go from there, right? And so for Train Solo, why it works for us is because we have a structured outcome, we have a clear promise, and a repeatable delivery. Right. So our writer is like you go into this low ticket product, which is 147, right? You go in, you have the community sets accountability, and then we have it, then you go in after you go through all this community layer, right? Which is a downsell from the 147 that you pay, right? You downsells $25 for the first month, then it upsells until $50 a month. You know what I mean? And then from there we have our back end suite, right? We avoid right random sales posts, awkward CTAs, and creative desperation, right? Because we understand like, hey, we're going to do most of our selling through our store. You know what I mean? You might have a CTA that says like, hey, if you're looking for a training program, CTA train, right? But you're gonna go, everyone's gonna get filtered towards this low ticket product, right? And this is the difference between us posting content and us running an operation. If we say like, okay, cool, every Wednesday we're gonna post a reel of a talking head reel of this guy X, Y, and Z, and throughout the week we're gonna have this posted, this posted, this posted. We're gonna keep the story busy and engaged from here, and we're mainly going to push people into our backend email acquisition system, right? Because with this specific offer, right, with this specific creator, someone on his coaching staff runs a $2 million a year info business. And we're like, hey, you have everything that you have until to make the 2 million, besides like the 2K a day we spend on ad spend. You know what I mean? And so your monetization that you know what I mean? Yeah, like bro, like you have to think about it. Like you could go sell a someone a $5 offer, right? And it could be something as simple as like, and things I've done it. You can sell someone a $5 trading checklist, right? And then a $97 order bump one, and then 197 order bump two, and then a 497 order bump three, right? Reroute everyone who doesn't buy anything else to webinars or to the community page. And then you're making it easily 1,000, 1,500, $2,000 a day from your low ticket products. You know what I mean? All on autopilot, right? And the angle that you're gonna take whenever it comes to monetization, right? And it just depends on like the page. You know what I mean? The casino page is a little bit more in depth, right? You have to be a little bit more like clever with how you kind of position it, right? But you want to teach the problem so clearly that the solution feels obvious, right? Here's the systems that I use. Most people do X, but that's why they lose, right? If you're stuck ABC, then it's probably because of this, right? Do this daily for 7 days and watch what happens, right? And so for us at Train Solo, the angle that we like to take is that like, hey, the daily structure beats motivation, right? If you can lock in and day out, you'll get a lot further than anyone who's just leaning on motivation. You know what I mean? And that kind of like helps for us, right? We had the creator was saying like, hey, between 4 to 6K is like my sweet spot. I took over for Story Stack. You know what I mean? We got 18,000 views, over 800 people to kind of vote on his stories, right? And that's the thing. Right now I'm collecting data. Now I know exactly um what to do, how to run up a gambling affiliate page in 2026. We can go over that when I get through this presentation, right? And then like you want one CTA, right? I only want people to go from one specific thing. You know what I mean? If you want to learn how to train better, comment train. You know what I mean? If you want a plan on how to go be profitable over the next 7 days, comment plan. If you want the system on how I scale pages from 0 to 10K followers to 0 to 100K in cash revenue, comment system. If you want to go, sign up for the next webinar, here's a link in my bio. You can start there, right? For Train Solo, the only CTA that we kind of push is just train. You know what I mean? And this is why it's like, okay, cool. Like, if we're selling on like daily structure, we should be structured as well too. You know what I mean? It's subconsciously like programming the followers that we have. Like, hey, if we're training on being consistent every day, showing in and showing out, we might as well be the first people to go ahead and do it, right? And so, quick fixes, your bio, it just has to answer who your page is for, the outcome that they can have, right? And you can DM for the next step, right? A lot of times you see the theme pages, they get monetized, right? It's a funny one liner of one of the ones of helping who cheat, who daily X, Y, and Z, DM me casino for I play ABCD, right? And so, common mistakes to avoid today is just picking a path whenever it comes to monetization based on your ego. Like, I want to sell a course. Of course, everybody wants to get into it from, everybody wants to be a course seller. But is it really plausible if you want to sell a course? Do you want to go start a personal brand? And if you do want to start a personal brand, what have you done in your own life that warrants you starting a personal brand? Right? You pick a path based on fear, right? I'll just do affiliate forever just because it's like, oh, I don't want to go and kind of tackle all the complexities that it has to be an offer owner, right? And you're trying to monetize everyone. Not everyone who comes to your page is going to actually ever give you money. You know what I mean? You have to simply like come to that realization that like, hey, if you join my page, you subscribe to my page, you might not ever give me a fucking cent, right? And you should never rebrand your page completely when the answer is just to provide clarity to your followers, right? Because if you want a casino page and you see, hey, I'm not monetizing my followers because there's no clear offer. There's no clear thing that they gain from running through this page, right? Like if I go gamble with this guy's casino, what do I fucking gain from it, right? In building without the decision to monetize being on the front end, right? I was talking to someone in the Discord the other day, and he was like, I've never like thought to like how am I going to monetize a page before I started running it? I was like, yeah, that's why we're still struggling to monetize, right? Because he had a page in a niche where it's super hard to monetize, or even harder than casino. And it's like if you do monetize this, it only works if you become a personal brand. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, because at the end of the day, the monetization, right? Nigga, you don't do what you do this page to do. So it's no personal. You won't understand how to monetize it, right? Because if you don't gamble, you don't understand how to go gamble, how to go monetize a damn page. Because you don't know how to speak to niggas who fucking gamble. You know what I mean? And so like for day one, I just want everyone to kind of go. You don't have to put the handle, right? Just go put what platform, your audience, the core problem, how you want to monetize, and like your CTA, and then we'll kind of just go from there. And then like grade yourself, right? 1 through 10, specific audience, specific core problem. Is it a clear outcome? Can I measure it? Kind of, right? Is the path does it make sense for where you're at currently? Um, and then is the CTA simple enough to repeat daily? If you score on a 40 out of 50, you have to go and revise it until you get to 40 out of 50. Right. And so tomorrow I'm gonna show you guys how to turn your clarity into like a real offer, right? The price point, a promise, and the number one objection remover. So that way by day two we know exactly what to sell. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it for day one. So I'm gonna kind of sit and answer any of the questions that you guys do have, and we can kind of just run from there. But yeah, this one. How do we run up a gambling um, affiliate page in 2026? So the first one that I'd say is to actually gamble, like actually understands, even if you don't gamble, like maybe your best friend gambles. There's someone who you can draw inspiration from in your personal life whenever it comes to gambling. Whenever I was running my gambling page, it did so well is because I gamble shit ton every day, right? I know what it feels like to have your man fucking parlay. It doesn't hit. I don't do this shit no more. But I know what it feels. I know what it feels like to get stiffed by a fucking bookie. I know what it feels like to run it up while gambling. You know what I mean? And so it's like that's why my page is so successful. I could see a video related to gambling because it's like, hey, would the gambler and me find this funny? One of my really good friends, he's the same way. He's a big baccarat. It's baccarat, right? He's a big baccarat guy. Right. And so he's able to run this page and do a lot of numbers posting Baccarat memes because guess what? He's speaking to his inner gambler. Right. And so that'll be like the first thing. And the number one thing, I want to focus on making new content my fucking self. Right. I'll scroll through the top 10, 15 gambling pages, create a database of like 40 to 50 reels that are going super viral by your terms, and then figure out why these things are going viral. Why is it viral? Because a hook? Why is it viral? Because the body is a long video. There's a lot of captions. It's a comment bait. Like, what's the reason behind this page being mega viral? Besides myself, understand that. Download all those videos, scrub the metadata, and figure out unique and winning hooks for yourself. You know what I mean? Figure out, okay, this video went viral for this specific reason with this specific hook. How can I remix this hook to where myself? Do that. Post good content for 90 days, 3 times a day. Bro, there you go. You have 1 million+ views right there. Might not even take you 90 days to get a 1 million video. Right? It took me 5 posts to get 1 million views. But yeah, y'all keep asking me questions and I'll keep answering them. And kind of just go from there. Free trials work, but you have to understand to get someone to continuously pay you, that's because there's a lot of trust. Right. In a free trial, you initially say, like, hey, for the next 30 days, I'm gonna go get a shit ton of results. Right. But what you're failing to realize is that in an industry that you're in with trading, you're saying, like, hey, in return for this free trial, I'm not gonna go have a down month. Right. So the thing is, they work whenever you're on a hot streak, right? They fucking print, right? But they don't print whenever you're fucking losing money, whenever you're not having the best trading. So it just depends. Like they do work, right? But at the end of the day, you have to understand like your ascension path. How am I going to go get someone from this $5, $20, this free ticket, or this lead magnet? And how can I walk them down systematically until they fucking give me money, right? Until they pay for my high ticket offer, right? Then it's just like, okay, cool. I have that ascension path. And it's like, how much traffic based on my numbers, based on how well I close, based on all this other shit. What are the numbers that I need to pump into this fucking system so that way we can every single month predictably with this amount of views we can hit this amount of revenue, right? And once you figure that out, it's just like okay, cool. We need 1,005 buyers a month to go make $100,000, right? Because after 1,000, right, we just need 50 people to go give us theoretically $1,500, and that's $80,000 revenue besides the offers 1 through Z that they're gonna fucking see, right? And so for them, that allows you to say, like, cool. If $1,000 theoretically nets me back, if I go get 1,000 buyers at $5, not necessarily nets me, let's say $130,000 in gross revenue, right? You should theoretically be okay spending $130,000 to go get a pool of 10,000 buyers, right? These are just like hypothetical numbers, but you should be okay spending that because it's just like, okay, if I go get 10,000 buyers, theoretically, I just bought $1 million for five to for 5 to 10K. Theoretically, if like that's like best case scenario, everything that could happen that well happens and nothing breaks. But it's just like yeah, find your numbers, turn it into the algorithm, and just kind of push and play with the profit. But yeah, y'all keep asking me more questions, man. The math is math, not literally, like literally, right? But at the end of the day, like you really don't need paid ads to get to $100,000 with an info offer, especially if your personal brand is the right selects up the right way. Like people are buying into trust for you, right? You just need them to have the right conversion mechanisms and then have like the right positioning and marketing day in and day out, right? Because I think it's if you're not making $100,000, okay, if you're not making 50 to $100,000 a month from your personal brand, no matter how many followers you have, above like 5K followers, you're doing something fucking wrong, right? You're doing something wrong. Yeah, Google ads go crazy, but they don't go crazy in the aspect for personal brand info. Because at the end of the day, that's more so of an awareness play. Like, hey, I'm here to solve a specific problem. You know what I mean? And oftentimes, like, they don't convert as well as like something that's like completely faceless. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like if you go Google how prop firm trading, I need help options trading. And I only like doing Google ads for like what you would call it. I don't like doing Google ads for like e-com brands or like physical services. Right. So if you Google like if you need help options trading, right? what you're bidding on ain't even gonna be worth the fucking squeeze. Because the niggas who you're competing with have millions of dollars to spend on advertising. Like E-Trade, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Investopedia. You know what I mean? Like, them niggas have paid to go put up against you. You know what I mean? So you're better off just monetizing and like figuring out your distribution layer on Instagram. It's like, okay, cool. How many reels a day do I need to post? How many views a day do I need to post? Right? If we're making 30K a month right now with our info and we're getting 300,000 views a month, theoretically, to get to 100K views, you need to get to a million views a month, right? In the process, you'd be like, oh, what video can I post to go viral? You know what I mean? The process should be like, how can I better educate my audience on what it is I do and how I can help them and why they're missing out on making the same amount of money I am because they're missing out on ABCD, right? As if you have faces. If you have a person, right? If you're faceless, right, and you're selling like a make money online offer, it's like, okay, cool. Like, hey, we just partnered up with this creator, with this person. We're leveraging their personal brand. You're showing their results, right? And they're like, hey, if you want this to be you, if you want to be next, you're gonna be like all these people, right? And that's when you go message yourself over pages that aren't affiliated with the page. You plop yourself out like, hey, I've been following the page for a minute. I saw your story. I took my chance on bro. And you have your case studies, you have your testimonials coming in, X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? You go from there. Um, and then like, yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, y'all keep asking me questions, man. Yeah, I'd recommend long form YouTube videos. I'd 100% recommend long form YouTube videos, bro. Because the thing is, you have to think about it like this, right? People buy from who they trust with. If they spend an hour of your time um, out of the time making or watching your on YouTube video, the chances that they convert are so much higher than watching 30 of your fucking TikToks, right? Because now they can sit here, they can vibe with you, they can be like, okay, cool, here's how he clearly like thinks about this certain topic. You know what I mean? And so that's why like long term YouTube videos, like bro, you could go make like bro, some it's people making $400,000 a month off of 6,000 views a month on YouTube. Yeah, but the thing is, like, you got to research the industry that you're posting in, right? How do all the top guys in my industry post videos? Where are the most performing videos? Okay, why are these videos the most performing? Right? It's not just, oh, I'm just gonna go shoot a 10-minute long how-to video and it should give me a lot of views. It should get no, that's not how this shit fucking works. It's the same thing when you're researching short form content topics, right? Okay, what gets the most engagement? What's the fucking comment type? I'm not saying you have to go sit there yourself and read through every fucking comment, but you have to at least understand why these videos are performing before you kind of just say, all right, cool, I'm just gonna spit out videos and kind of pray and hope. Right? You know what I mean? Because like my content strategy for this year is very dotted. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, cool. Let's get people in. You know what I mean? Let's try to merge from. Let's go show everyone how to go do how to go make any money. And it's like, all right, take the best guys, make them myself affiliates. You know what I mean? Now we push out a shit ton of fucking offers. We make a shit ton of money. All right, cool. Show you guys how to go fucking post on Instagram. I need fucking affiliates. You know what I mean? For my organic offers. All right, cool. Y'all come post on this. Here's 30% of whatever the fucking offer makes. It's print. You know what I mean? And so So yeah, that's what people be out to do, posting praise sometimes. Yeah, bro. I told you whenever we met, I was like, bro, I'm expensive. You know what I mean? But it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like, because I think when we met for the first time, it was like a year ago in like April, May, right? And it was like from that year, it's like You know why everyone fucking follows you? You know why people go and like they get into like the chattel trades community versus all the other fucking trading community there is? I be dead ass you messed up. These guys are also expensive. Hey, bro. Hey, I told you. You gotta come get with the winning team, man. You gotta come get with the winning team because you seen what we did for Baron, bro. And like, granted, like I give Baron his props. I think he's tough whenever it comes to the trading shit, right? But it's just like, all right, cool. We had all that shit in the back end. You know what I mean? So I was just like, all right, I know the system works. You know what I mean? Hey, and it's just like, hey, if you want to come use the system, I need to go get paid too. You know what I mean? But it's just like, no, God, on God. But it's just like, bro, like, if you just post and pray, right, and you don't really understand, okay, cool. There's a certain format in your niche that goes viral and gets consistently. You can post that format in your niche and you can consistently go get 5K interested fucking views. You know what I mean? And if they see this is all this guy pays, he has the same video format every single day. They're gonna turn on your post notifications and become a loyal follower, become a loyal fan. And then you throw it off with like, hey, once a week, I'm gonna give out one free trade. Oh no, yeah, bro, just send me, bro. Just send me. We can figure something out. We can figure something out, Chavo. Step into my step into my DMs. We can figure something out, boss man. Um, but it's just like, what was I fucking talking about again? Hey, come on, let's grow that motherfucker. Let's grow that motherfucker, right? But it's just like, I also think like if you're gonna have a personal brand, I think people like assume that you have to be like super like dialed. If everybody in the world that follows you needs to know what the fuck you do for money. Right. That's not necessarily true. No one needs to fucking know what the fuck it is you do unless they have money to give to go give you. Right. And so it's just like for me, my personal brand, if you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, I post way more results on Instagram than I ever do on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like Instagram, you might go get a daily results blast. You know what I mean? Or 2, 3 days, that is what we're up to. You know what I mean? Cool. If you know what I do because you follow me from Twitter, all right, cool. What's up? Now, like you're at the final conversion point of my phone. Whether you're gonna be a client or you want me to like you need help, like X, Y, Z, you want me to come help you. Instagram's my final conversion point. By the time you get to my Instagram, by the time you fucking unsurface it, it's like, oh shit, this nigga really does this shit day in and day out. You know what I mean? And so we kind of just run from there, right? But it's just like the time that like when I do decide to go like mass market, you know what I mean? It's like the content that I'm gonna be posting, like it's gonna be 100% different because I'll probably go page in the I'll probably go page in the page in my niche, get that go viral with my face on it. You know what I mean? You have 4 or 5 main clipping pages, clip like the YouTube lifestyle shit. Get some RL streams where I'm just streaming no business talk. Just stream, clip that, go do cool shit, showcase my lifestyle. Grow those pages to 3, 4, 5,000 followers. You know what I mean? That main page, see if we can get that to like 100K followers. You know what I mean? But all of the sales talks happen on like my personal DM. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, all right, cool, if you send me like you're a real high ticket buyer. You know what I mean? And so we can kind of just go from there, right? But we'll see though. We'll see. But yeah, y'all ask me some more questions though. Y'all boys ask me some more questions. Bro, I think if everything in this between me and this girl go right, I'm gonna be in New York around Valentine's Day. If everything goes right. If it doesn't go right, I'll let you know. But yeah, I'm planning to go for Valentine's Day though. Yeah, bet. I'm gonna see you, bro. Nah, hey, but hey, if it doesn't go right, at least I got y'all. At least I got y'all. You know what I mean? But yeah, y'all asked me a couple more questions. Um, I'll probably stay on until about 9, and then I'll stream again tomorrow. Get this VOD in the chat, uh, and then go from there. Uh, but yeah, because literally like tomorrow, and like well, pretty much from Wednesday moving forward, right? I'm gonna stream at 8, but then I'm gonna go over like, okay, cool. Like we know how to monetize. Let's go get this fucking chicken now. Like, you know what I mean? Here's step by step what I do leading up to launch, right? Because this whole entire thing is to show you guys like, hey, it's not that hard to go launch an offer because I'm launching this training solo offer, right? And so from there, it's just like, oh, that's why I only want to work with people on this like on the lot that are already generating traffic, right? Because from there, it's like, okay, cool, like y'all can come see me build out this launch, especially since it's a low ticket, organic only launch. You know what I mean? And I'm working with like a professional athlete where he has his time constraints. You know what I mean? And it's his personal brand. It's like, oh, this is why I can really say it's faceless. I think confidence is faceless because it's like anything to me is faceless as long as I'm not using my face on it. Like, you know what I mean? And so it's kind of like that. Um, so yeah, y'all ask me questions. I'm gonna cut this bitch off short. All right, bro. I'll see y'all boys tomorrow. Well, yeah, I think this is a good place to end it. I'm gonna tap in with y'all niggas tomorrow.